here we are after 3 exceptional days, 3 days of intense learning and sharing, but in ways that we had only started to imagine were even possible this time 2 years ago. We're coming to the end of EuroPCR 2021. And I think we can safely say you really did make it happen, William.
Well, yes, you bet. You really did make it happen. We all did. This has been a real milestone. I think we all stepped up to the huge challenge of adapting to unprecedented circumstances, and we can say that we turned that challenge into an opportunity. But we really need your feedback. Already we're hearing colleagues sharing their excitement, their joy after a really effective session, both those demonstrating and those learning actually. There was an example just I can't refrain from mentioning this afternoon in the hands-on simulation lab. It was about tricuspid clipping on a fantastic model, hands-on simulation by Francesco Maizano and Eric Brochet on the echo. Great teaching, and at the end of the session, instead of concluding, Francesco said to Eric, "Why don't you come over here? If the teaching was effective, you should be able to do it." So Eric took the catheter, Francesco did the echo guidance, and Dr. Brochet has implanted successfully his first tricuspid clip. I mean, it's amazing. What more proof of effective learning do we need? I'm sure you've heard the same, Jean.
Yes, absolutely, William. And what we could say, that the EuroPCR has been this year really an important step. I'm convinced that there will be a before and an after EuroPCR 2021 in terms of format, in terms of global reach and engagement of the community. And the participants this year were more engaged, more active, and compared to the previous year, particularly what we saw on the chat. And maybe, Vanessa, you have some figures about that.
We do have some figures. If we can get the figures up on the screen. Can we? Excellent, yep. So there have been a total of 8,091 healthcare professionals connected to the platform for anything between 45 minutes and 30 hours each. There were 10 active PCR hubs participating all day, every day. There were 13 pods of professionals who've been able to get together in a physical space to experience the course together. And we have more figures coming in right now. We received more than 4,000 questions and contributions via the chats with the different channels. We have broadcast 120 hours of programs as planned, and that is without counting the 10,000 videos on demand. So we've got a serious amount of content. And what's more, participants have clearly spread the word, because there have been, get ready for this, gentlemen, 41.5 million impressions on social media just with the hashtag EuroPCR. Just 41.5 million. And on top of all of that, the PCR Companion Scheme has very nearly reached 10,000 members, and you still have time to join. So yeah, spectacular.
That's great figures, I am impressed by the 40 million impression of that. It's impressive. But what makes me really happy also, it's the quality of the content and the success of this new brand, this new digital form. And to be honest with William, when before we started, we were not really sure that all this new format will work perfectly. And of course, we knew the content will be okay with this high quality given by all the PCR communities, as always. But such change in the way to deliver was at the beginning a little big question mark. And now, after these extraordinary 3 days, we know that, yes, it works. Definitely, this new format works. This format is really has delivered effective sharing and effective learning. And what's more, it has given us hope, energy, and certainly more ideas for the future.
And talking of the future, just like the course started before this week of live content, it actually goes on after today, William.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, and yes. EuroPCR is not over at all. In fact, every minute of the programs broadcast this week is available on video on demand for 3 months, starting from tonight. That's, of course, on top of all the content that had already been recorded and is available since quite some time now. This year's revolutionary format is here to help you. If you missed anything, if there were 2 programs on the same time and you couldn't watch both, we're saving your day. You'll find everything under the Video on Demand tab with a user-friendly filter system that makes it very easy to find what you're looking for.
Now, while we're looking ahead, I think you also have dates for our diary, William.
Yeah, we have dates. We have a number of rendezvous planned in the near future. Actually, I can show you. Let me show you. So we had planned some PCR webinars in June. You have the dates here. And then there is a new option here. It's called EuroPCR hashtag Ask Me Anything. Special format based on the key questions, the most often questions that have been asked during the course will be the basis for these 3 sessions, 1 per week, called Ask Me Anything. One about hypertension, one about valvular TAVI, and one about coronary interventions. And after that, here we are, May 20, okay? We'll have here, during the coming months, the dates of the next courses: Africa PCR, PCR Tokyo Valve, in October, AICT, Asia PCR, in November, PCR London Valves, and in December, Gulf PCR Gym. We're still waiting for the dates of PCR CIT China Chengdu Valves course, but don't worry, you'll find all of that on PCR Online. Now, what's the gap here? June, July, August, 3 months. That's the time it will take you to watch all the sessions and all the programs that are available on video on demand on our lovely bespoke course platform.
Thank you very much, William. Yes, come back. So, we're coming steadily to the end here. What an experience for everyone involved, really. I think it feels like the whole PCR community has jumped into the future. So many different new opportunities for meeting, for sharing, for learning seem possible now. But we really need to hear from you, the participants, right now. While it's fresh in your mind, I know it's been a long 3 days, but please take an extra 5 minutes. You will find a link to a short survey in the chat, and just 5 minutes, give us your feedback just before you log off. We'd be very grateful, because it's your feedback on this 31st edition of EuroPCR. It's your ideas that will determine where we go from here. So do get online and fill in that survey for us. Now, William Wijns, course director, a message before we hand over to our closing video and to the visuals with the many grateful acknowledgements. But your closing message.
Very appropriate, grateful acknowledgements. But even so, I really want to thank each and every one of you, participants, partners, technicians, magicians behind the scene, and of course, all the facilitators and great teachers. Honestly, I think that each of us can say we did it together. I was part of it. I was part of EuroPCR 2021.
Thank you, William. And Jean Fajadet, course director, a final word.
Of course, first of all, I will thank a lot of people, but I would like to thank one person. And his name is Magali. And it's really a great thank. You could see her on the left part of this picture. Big thank because I know that I speak not only for me, not only for William, but all the colleagues who have been accompanied, trained, coached, encouraged. In one word, who have been vitalized by Magali, will thank her. And really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And then I will, of course, join William to thank all the people who work a lot on this new event, new format, which was a completely different edition compared to what we have done in the previous year. This was a success, but they made the success. And I do feel that this, certainly this year, is an historic step in the history of PCR. And we could say, William and myself, that the future starts now, today.
Thank you very much.
Everyone about no observer. Actually, Magali is observer.
Hello and welcome.
And the winner is